Hello, Sacred Heart. Father Ross here, coming to you live from the upstairs balcony of the church. And this is a special video that is hopefully will assist us as we begin to begin public masses again here in this coming week. This is going to be kind of an interesting situation for us all because we need to know who is desiring to return to public mass, and recognizing that this return to mass will actually look different than what you are used to. And we'll go over those changes in just a little bit. But this whole process is going to be one to where we need to have you let us know if you want or have a desire to come and return to a public mass. And so what we're going to be asking for you to do, we're sending out letters this week. We'll be sending out a flock note probably associated with this video. We need you to email or call the parish office and give us your information, give us your name, or give us your family's name, how many members are in your family, along with your contact information of your phone and your email address. Just basically indicating a desire to attend or to return to Sunday Mass. Once we have a master list compiled, then we will go ahead and do a reservation system for masses. And so you won't be able just to show up to a mass, to any mass that you want. All masses will be by reservations only. And so how that will work is on a rotation system. Based on our master list, we'll see how many people sign up on that master list. That will determine, how many masses we offer on a Sunday or on a weekend going forward. And we'll do our best to accommodate with that. With that being said, you should know that you should not expect to attend a Mass every Sunday. The dispensation is still in place from the Archbishop. No one is required to come back to Mass. The dispensation, we'll let you know when that dispensation is lifted. So this is not meant to pull anyone out when they're not ready, but it's just for those people who are ready to return to Mass when they feel like they want to come. We can't guarantee anything. There's risk involved with everything, but we're doing our best to keep the church as clean as possible and to maintain our social distancing as possible as well. So just kind of with that being said, the dispensation is still in place. We'll still be live streaming our Mass at 8 a.m. on Facebook. So if you've enjoyed that, we'll be continuing that. But you're going to be hearing more responses back beginning this coming week when public masses resume on a limited basis. Now, if you're familiar with our church, you can see here, Sacred Heart is not this massive place. It's a very small church, and that's one thing that makes it so special, I think, is that it's a very intimate environment. And that also prevents a lot of challenges for us because we have to rope off basically every 2 pews. We have 1 pew open and then 2 pews are taped off just to maintain our social distancing. So our attendance numbers, depending on families or individuals, it will vary on our capacity. We can have a maximum number of 50 people at a Mass, but depending on how many singles or couples sign up, that number could be significantly lower. So you should not expect, just because you put your name on the master list, does not guarantee you a Mass. You will get a Mass at some point, but it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be going to Mass every Sunday. It could be every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, and we'll do our best to accommodate with that. So after you've put your name on the master list, after you've called the parish office or sent us an email to give us your information, again, email, phone number, name, and also how many people are in your household, then we will compile that list, and then based off that list, we will assign you a Mass. So gone are the days where you get to choose your Mass. We basically will assign you a Mass. If for some reason that Mass does not work for you or you're going to be out of town, then you will simply let us know, and then you basically will remain in the bullpen, if you will, or remain on that wait list until the next week's Mass is open up. So that's how that works. You won't get to choose your Mass. You will be assigned a Mass, and you either confirm or deny that invitation. You should know that when you come to Mass, things are going to look different. We're going to have a staff member outside ensuring that people maintain their social distancing. That means that we're used to gathering in the patio and shooting the breeze, but you can still be friendly, but also it's really not a time to be chatty and to keep social distancing in that process as well. You'll be greeted at the front door. You'll enter through the front doors of the church, and you'll be checked in by another staff member as well. They'll be checking to make sure that you have a face mask, because the Archdiocese of Seattle is requiring every person attending Mass to wear a face mask. And so if you don't have a face mask, please bring your own face mask, because we have a limited quantity available. But for some reason, if you should forget, we'll provide you with a face mask. And then only people with face masks, then you'll be escorted to your seat. So you don't even get to choose your pew. And so might seem really authoritarian, really more like an iron fist here, but we have to make sure that pews are filled from the front to the back, just to maintain so we're not cross-contaminating traffic. So once you enter and get checked off on the list, that make sure that your name is on the list, someone will actually escort you all the way to your pew, and you need to remain in your pew until the end of Mass. Mass will begin, not as usual. I will be entering from the back sacristy, which is right behind St. Joseph's statue there, and I will be getting Mass. You won't see me going down doing any type of procession down the main aisle. I'll be entering Mass through the sacristy, venerating the altar, and we'll begin Mass. Mass will be, the Archdiocese has asked us to be as efficient and quick as possible with our Masses. So any options that we're given to choose shorter readings, or to perhaps even have shorter homilies, or to shorten the Mass, they're asking us to take all opportunities for that. There will be no congregational singing. So you should know this, that many of you enjoyed the singing that we've had on our live stream. We're still going to continue with our cantor and our accompanist for that 8 a.m. live stream. And what you should know is that during that Mass, the upstairs balcony is completely empty, and they're facing the back of the church, meaning that their voices and their projection is going to the back of the church, and not to myself or to any of the congregants. So that's where we will really hear music. However, people that are at that Mass downstairs, they're asking people not to sing, because the singing really is the thing that projects these particles that could be contaminated. And so we will hear singing at our early morning Mass. At the other Masses, it's possible that we might have just some instrumentalists playing, or possibly it's depending on who's up for what, it's possible that there may be no music at all. So there is no congregational singing. You'll be coming here. You might be tempted to hum along, but we just ask you just to really keep that to yourself, and long for the day that we can sing again. Also, there will be no sign of peace. And then also, this is probably the biggest change, is that communion will not be distributed during Mass. After I receive Holy Communion, and I'll purify the vessels and then do the prayer after communion, give the announcements, I'll conclude Mass. And then after I conclude Mass, then I will remove my chasuble, then I will put on a face mask, come down to where I would normally distribute Holy Communion. And at that point, then an usher will basically come and to dismiss your pew for Holy Communion one row at a time. As your row comes up for Holy Communion, you'll receive Holy Communion, and then you will exit through the side door immediately. So the whole idea is not to have people come back in and to have all this cross traffic. We have one way in and then one way out. And so the Archdiocese has asked us, after you receive Holy Communion, that you need to exit immediately. And while this is something that I would not normally ever advocate for, I would normally say, go back to your pews and make a Thanksgiving and spend 10 minutes or longer making a Thanksgiving. In this situation, we're being asked to receive Holy Communion and then exit immediately. And so you might consider going to your car, or finding a quiet space outside that you might be able to make that act of thanksgiving. Let me just go through here, make sure we have a whole list here. There's a lot of things going on there. That's basically, I will still be available in between Masses. We don't have Masses time listed. Those are open for fluctuation depending on how many people we have on that master list. It's possible we could have 1, 2, 3, or more Masses open. It'll just depend on how many people we have on that list. You should also know that if you don't feel comfortable at this time signing up for the master list, that's okay. And should maybe in the next month you might feel like you want to return to Mass, then you can simply call or email the parish. You can be added or deleted from that master list at any time. So this is not just you have to act now, but just know this is when you want to return to the Mass, this is what you would need to do. You need to let us know, and then we can put you on the list and then try to get you in there as soon as possible. And then basically after you do gather, after you do finish exiting the church after Holy Communion, we ask that you do not linger in the patio. Again, we have to keep social distancing, and we ask that you just simply go to your vehicles or space yourself out and keep a reverent atmosphere. You're just going to be receiving Jesus into your very being, and this isn't necessarily the time to be chatty about it should you see other people out there. I believe that's all. One other thing is the collection. One other part of Mass is we won't be seeing ushers pass out a collection at Mass. We'll have one drop box that you can put your envelope or your donation in at Mass, a metal drop box, and we'll make sure that that's highlighted appropriately for you. That's all the information that I have on this list. Again, this is a whole bunch of changes, and some of these things might be adapted as we go forward. So we just ask for your patience as we kind of struggle with this. This is a wonderful thing we're able to come back and to offer Mass, but also to recognize that we're all kind of learning here. So this is a time that we can be especially merciful with each other, and especially with myself and with our wonderful parish staff who have been doing their best to making sure that all your sacramental needs have been provided for. Know my prayers for you, and again, should you want to return to Mass, simply call the parish office or send us an email at info@shbham.org. And again, you can go to our website and there'll be more information on that, on how you can return to public Masses. Know my prayers for you, and God bless.